Today we're talking about solar energy, and my name is Basim Abdurrahman. I'm the founder and CEO of KESK company. KESK is a green tech company. We deliver solar energy projects, solutions, and we operate all across Iraq since 2019. I just want to tell you that I'm not here today to convince you that solar technology is important for energy transition and energy independence, and how the solar energy works. Why do we need to go renewables? I'm more than happy to address any questions at the end of the seminar, but I'm not here to convince you about this topic, because we're a few steps, ahead of talking about why solar is necessary and where can we use solar. So if we can put the presentation on, I want to share with you something we are working on for over a year now as a company. When we started in 2018, I founded the KESK. I founded it as a green building consulting company. In 2021, when COVID hit, we pivoted and we started focusing on solar energy solutions. Please, if you do not understand English, there are some translation devices. The team can provide it to you. And there will be a translation from English to Kurdish, English to Arabic, if I'm not mistaken. So if you don't understand English, you can get those devices from here. And I'm more than happy to listen to your questions at the end of the seminar. I'll keep this short, not as boring, I promise you this. So in 2018, I founded the company as a green building consulting company. 2021, we pivoted during COVID into green solutions company. What do we mean by that? We started providing, offering solar energy, solar air conditioning systems. And then we expanded from just solar air conditioning systems into providing various solar energy solutions. I'm talking about engineering, design, supply, installation of solar PV systems. And then in 2023, we pivoted into a green tech company. Now we are establishing ourselves as a green energy platform or green energy ecosystem platform company. What do I mean by green energy ecosystem platform? We don't just provide solar energy hardware solutions. We provide hardware solutions where we design, supply, and install solar energy systems. We are also providing software solutions. We have built the software that can monitor different solar energy assets. We started by doing R&D work internally to monitor our own solar air conditioning products, and then expanded to monitoring and controlling different kind of inverter brands. Why are we monitoring solar energy assets? Because we want to use the software as a tool to monetize carbon offset. What do we mean by monetizing carbon offset? Any sustainable solution reduces carbon footprint or CO2 emission, right? Do we all agree that planting trees reduces CO2 because trees can absorb CO2 and make environment more healthy? When any of you invest in solar energy system, you're reducing CO2 emission because you're replacing that energy generated from solar is green. It does not emit CO2, so you are offsetting CO2 because you are using renewable energy instead of diesel generator or a grid, which are powered by carbon endowment fuels. So when you switch to solar or to hydraulic power or to any other form of renewable energy, you offset CO2. For each ton of CO2 you offset, this can be certified and translated into what we call carbon credit. Carbon credit is a virtual commodity, and it has a value, a financial value in the market. So we'll go back to the reason why did we build this ecosystem platform, hardware, software, and carbon marketplace. We believe that renewable energy is a need because majority of businesses and firms, through a study we have done 2 years ago with another entity, that majority of businesses has been suffering financially because of high operational cost of diesel generators. So transitioning into renewables will help them reduce their operational cost, because diesel generators has no return on investment because they keep burning fuel. The other reason why we are building a platform is that there is a lack of companies that provide hardware and software solutions. There are companies that provide solar energy hardware solutions. They do great engineering, but they would not give you access to software solutions where you can, with not through a third party, but through your own secure platform to monitor and control your solar energy assets. So we are building this platform where we do the hardware and the software at the same time, and most of the companies do either or. There is a need for a software to help you monitor, track your energy consumption, your savings, through having a historical data, a user-friendly dashboard. You'll be able to monitor your solar energy data. Also, there is a huge difference between the cost of renewable energy generation versus diesel generator. We have calculated that diesel generator cost per kilowatt hour is almost $0.50 versus renewable energy between on-grid, hybrid, off-grid system can cost between 2 to 5 cents per kilowatt hour. The fourth reason is that measuring and achieving sustainability goals for businesses becoming a great challenge. So most of the businesses, they go sustainable, but they cannot really understand how much did they save in terms of energy, how much of carbon offset ton they have reduced, did they achieve their sustainability goals or not. Majority of our clients are oil and gas. For example, oil and gas operators, they have sustainability responsibility, and they need to report some data, and the software help in collecting and providing this information. And also, there is a lack of verifiable and trustable carbon credit in the market for global organizations to buy and offset their carbon footprint. So there are companies who have social responsibility to reduce their carbon footprint. They need to go net zero. Whatever they generate of carbon, of CO2, number of tons through their operations, from running their offices, electricity running their offices, transportation of goods, etc. Everything is calculated and translated into CO2. These companies globally, they have this commitment to reduce their CO2 footprint to zero. So they need to implement sustainable solutions and projects in place to bring that CO2 account to zero. So what they do, they try to invest in sustainable energy, like solar energy. They plant trees. They do different kind of sustainable solutions. But usually their investment cannot translate to the amount of CO2 they're generating. So what they do, to go net zero, they go buy carbon credit from the market, the carbon credit that has been generated by sustainable solutions. So if there is a planting of trees in Brazil, and this project in Brazil has certified carbon credit, and there is a company in Europe that needs to go net zero, they can buy the carbon credit from the project in Brazil. It's a virtual commodity again, but there is a transaction. They pay to a middle company for them to transfer this carbon credit to them and say, there's someone who reduced CO2, I'm gonna buy their credit so I can go net zero. And this is how they meet their sustainability goals. And that's how a carbon credit market has been created. So what are we trying to do here? We're building that connection between those who are investing in renewable energy solutions and those who want to buy the carbon credit from these projects. So we're building this platform by bringing a software solution that tracks how much you have saved and generated in terms of CO2, translate it into carbon credit, and sell it on your behalf to companies who want to go net zero. Why are we doing that? We expect that 20% of the energy generation across Iraq, not only in KRG, will be generated through solar energy. And that's the government plan for the next 5 years. There are green policies, mandates being set, carbon credit, a public company by the Ministry of Environment of Federal Iraq has been established to regulate carbon credit. So it's not just a conversation we're having. The Iraqi government is actually getting involved into this, and there is a company that has been established to regulate this market and these commodities. There are so many international organizations abroad and internally who wants to go net zero, and every single person who invests in renewables can, or any other sustainable solution, can sell their carbon credit to those buyers. What we're doing, we are building a green platform, combining hardware, software, and carbon marketplace. We believe that Renewable Energy 2.0 is integrating hardware, IoT solution, and AI, and bringing carbon marketplace live into the local market. We have a team of engineers in solar energy and software engineering and electrical engineering, all different backgrounds of engineering that are working together, addressing all these topics and integrating all the hardware into the software solutions. We do deliver solar energy projects. Our annual installation capacity is around 3 megawatt power and increasing. We are an award-winning team. That's why we want you to trust us. And what we are building has been awarded by Expo. Our software solution was awarded Expo Live Innovator Awards last year by Expo City in Dubai. I'm going to skip this, go to this part. So our 3 business models are here. You can see the hardware. The hardware costs around $500 to $1,000 per kilowatt power. That's the difference between on-grid, hybrid, and off-grid solutions. We've served over 50 businesses, major companies in Iraq, from oil and gas, telecom, UN organizations, and private sector. Whoever we onboard and provide hardware solution and solar PV system to, we onboard to the software. We provide them this service right now for free to collect data, collect feedback, monitor and collect their data and information. And we are building a tool to monetize the carbon offset, and we believe that the return on investment will be much faster, because you're not just having return on investment from the energy saving by generating green energy through solar, but also by having your carbon credit sold to buyers, which if you, for example, your return on investment should be 5 years, it would be accelerated and happen within 3 years. If it's normally going to happen in 3 years, if you're investing in solar energy system, we will make sure it will happen within 18 months, like 1.5 years. So the idea is that to encourage more people to invest in solar, because you can make additional revenue from your carbon offset on an annual basis. And our estimate is for every megawatt hour, you will get around 50,000 per megawatt hour per year. And this translates to around 10% of the project cost. And it's good money to have. That's our team. And we have been, you can find us across all media platforms. I think the media loves us, so we've been very lucky. Some snapshots on projects we have delivered for different clients. And I hope I did not, overwhelm you with high-tech information. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me directly. And I'll try to address most of your questions as much as I could. No question is a bad question. Every question is a solid question. I know somebody is thinking, I don't want to ask a question that will sound silly or simple. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Ahmed Tawafshe. I am founder of Algebra Intelligence. Thank you for the very nice and inspiring presentation. I have a question regarding your software, actually. Each inverter, solar inverter, comes with a platform. So what is really the competitive edge comparing with such platforms that comes with the hardware itself? When we install solar system, it comes normally with a platform, right? Or maybe you can.
Correct.
More.
As I mentioned, there are third-party platforms that provide this information. What we're building a software that provides easy monitoring and control to these systems, but also as a verification tool for the carbon credit market. The problem is with a third-party, I would say, portal where clients can go and check their account, it's not easy to trace far back in terms of historical data. Today, if the third party is going to provide me with the data of 2 years back, maybe next year they will delete the data from the years behind and they leave only the last 24 months. So how can we keep that and secure that historical data? We have no control over it. As long as it's under the third party who have their own servers somewhere else and they want to keep things as simple and efficient for them, we can't guarantee data when it's on the third-party platform. And the idea of our software, we're doing monitoring on evaluation, but we're also integrating carbon marketplace, where every system and every client we have onboarded, their account will translate it into a portal that is connected to the same data we have integrated for that system, showing how much CO2 offset in tons and how much carbon credit has been generated of this project and what's the sales price. So anybody can have their data available online for any buyer to come and buy from project A, B, C, D, E by just finding the information, the location of this project, what's the size of this project, who's the owner of this project, everything will be there available and transparent. Yes.
Well, first of all, congratulations. This is very inspiring. This is like the direction that we need to move forward for the green transition. So what's the role that you envision for the government, financial sector, and private companies to scale this marketplace and to bring back the trust that carbon credits have lost in the last years?
Thank you so much for the question. We expect from the government to regulate this market and make it as simple and as easy for us to navigate through as possible. So as I said, there is a public company that has been established by the, owned by the Ministry of Environment in federal Iraq to control that market. I believe there should be a similar initiative for the KRG as well. We don't know, I've talked to the management there, I don't know what what their role is going to look like. They told me at the time that it's still under development because they themselves are trying to learn how to navigate through this market and how to put the policies and regulations. Once they're ready, we will definitely try to make sure that we are working within these policies and regulations. The financial institutions part is, I truly believe that is important to bring financing to support the acceleration of adopting renewable energy systems and renewable energy solutions for the public. I know many people who want to invest in solar, they come to us as clients and they ask us if there are financing options. We're not a financial institution. We might do this for specific clients that we trust and know, but we can't really open this up to everyone. If a financial institution like a banking sector will not come on board and help us, it's difficult for us to take on, and it's a big risk. Our idea is that if a financial institution comes and we have the carbon marketplace active and running, they can use the solar energy assets as collateral. So they will not ask every single person, give me some securities so I can give you the financing. They can simply take your solar energy asset as a collateral and they can benefit from the carbon credit for as long as you are paying back for the system. And after a period of 4 or 5 years, when the client pay back, their dues to the financial institution, they can then own the system and benefit from that carbon offset. So that's our way of how we envision it. There might be other ways to do it, but truly the role of the financing institution is to help make this sector develop faster. Definitely for the software and for the carbon marketplace, which is going to be integrated within the same software solution. This is more scalable and it's much easier for us to serve clients within Iraq and outside Iraq. We have no limits when it comes to the software solution, but the hardware is difficult to scale for sure. So that's why we're keeping it within the Iraqi territories.
Hello. Thank you for the lovely presentation. By the way, this is Dana, AI researcher and technologist. So my question is about the social credit emission thing. In the West, this matter is highly politicized. In fact, it's very ambiguous. So my question is, do we really need to go along with this approach about this emission credit thing? Meanwhile, we have a very noble goal of trying to utilize the modern technology that's emission-free, supposedly. So do we really need to label ourselves alongside this matter of carbon emission? And also, we have to have a context, because Iraq is responsible for less than 1% of the carbon emission globally. So do we really need all of this? That's my question.
Thank you so much. These are two controversial questions. Regarding the first question, whether I think your point is, why are we trying to sell the idea of renewable energy? It should be a common sense, right? So why are we trying to encourage people to invest because there is additional revenue? Is that your question? I tell you why. Because every day we sit with clients as we try to convince them why renewable energy is the right solution. When some clients spending close to $700 a day to operate their diesel generators. And they're still asking why, what is the return on investment? What's your current solution? Your current solution is making you spend a lot of money on a monthly basis, on an annual basis. So we as an entity, first of all, data is important. Nobody disagrees with the idea that we need to have data. We need to have information. And the more the merrier. That's one. That's why we have the software. Data help us understand how to optimize these systems, how to make them better. We can inform the client that during these hours your consumption goes higher and your energy is produced less. You need to go with sustainable measures. You need to reduce your consumption in these hours because these are the least amount of energy generation hours, etc. So we can help inform the clients through the data we have, how do they perform or behave better as they are using their systems. Why do we want to capitalize on this? Because there is a market for it. Why not? You are offsetting CO2 on a daily basis, on a monthly basis. If someone tells you you're going to make money out of something you have no idea is happening in the backyard, why not? It is to incentivize those who are investing in renewable energy. So we are helping them make more money because they are investing in green solution. So why not reward them for it? It's to incentivize people to invest in renewables. The second question was, the 1%. I disagree with you. I disagree with you. First of all, I don't believe there's an accurate data on who is producing how much. I was in Basra 2 weeks ago. The amount of flaring happening there, I don't know. I think if we have to quantify things, there are visual things that we also see. We might not be the highly endowment industry. We don't have much factories running. We don't produce. We don't have that much of that. But we are a highly consuming country. Majority of the commodities you have today is manufactured elsewhere. Some other country across the continent is taking the blame because you are importing pens, because they are manufacturing your pens. So why they take the blame for the CO2 that they are generating because you cannot build your own pen? That's why I say this is a controversial question. No, my answer was to your question that we are producing less than 1%. But someone else is taking responsibility for every product we're using today, and we cannot just blame them. I'm sorry, I cannot hear everything you're saying. Okay, appreciate it, thank you. I want to make sure that we had a half an hour slot, so can we take one more question or wrap up here? We can take one more final question, and then I'm available to address any other questions later on. All right, no more questions? Thank you so much for coming today. I hope you have learned one or two new things today, and appreciate your showing up. Thank you.